Hey, in this video I want to show you a little bit about editing reports, and we're going to do a receipt that is fairly simple. It doesn't have a lot of grouping on it, so that's an easy report to edit, and we'll start off with that. So you can see here I'm in the visitors area and I have a visitor selected, and over here in the finance area you see that this visitor has a fee, and I'm just going to show you by clicking on the description here that this fee is a $25 fee, and it has already got a $10 payment and a $5 payment against it. And we're just going to go ahead and click here, and we're going to add a cash payment, and we are going to make it a $10 payment, so that should finish off this fee. I'm going to hit enter payment, and then this should come up. Now, two things to understand about this receipt. First of all, if you get a little pop-up here in Google Chrome saying that you have pop-ups disabled, you'll want to enable pop-ups at least for your site in order to get this to show up. And the second thing is, if you get an error when this pops up, you're going to want to go to your setup area and go to company information and make sure that there's a registration email set up, and then this should pop up. Now right now what you can see, this is going to be very similar in all the reports that you do, but you can see the name of the report right here, and then you're going to see exactly what we've titled it down here. So the type of report and the title. And over here you'll be able to edit it if you're not on the original one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the original receipt, which is the one that's up right now, and I'm going to click duplicate, and it makes a duplicate. And then I'm going to go ahead and rename that, and I'm going to make this visitor receipt. Haha, if I can spell. There we go. Visitor receipt 2. And I can put a description in here if I want. There's no need though. And what I can do when I have this checked is I can set this as my default, meaning that this will just show up automatically, or I can just click view and it'll show up right now. But making it your default means it shows up automatically every time you run this receipt. But you'll notice when I switched over, right now we see we're on visitor receipt 2 for the title, and I have an edit button. So I'm going to click edit, and the report editor is going to pop up. Now there's several sections you'll want to know about. Up here is your ribbon that gives you things like your alignment and your borders and your text format and those things. On the right there's several things. There's the properties, so whatever you're clicked on, you're going to be able to see the properties, and these are properties that are going to have, there's important things here like word wrap. Where's that word wrap? Right here. So if you want the text inside to wrap, you'll need to do that. And then other things in here like can grow or auto width. Those are properties that you may want to change when you're working with a text field. Also there's dictionary, and the biggest thing about dictionary is the data sources, and you'll see here there's a company info table which holds all your company information. That's from your company info fields in your setup area. But the big one is this payments table, and this is what this report is bound to, is this payments table. And these are the fields that you can use. You'll see those fields used in here like payments.amount and date and description are all used right there. The left side are the bands that you can add to the report, as well as things like text and checkboxes and rectangles and shapes and those types of things. In the middle here you have the editor, and you have the preview tab, so you can hit preview and see what it's going to look like using the data that you pulled the report up with. Okay, back on the editor, the bands that you'll want to know about. There's the report title band, which you see right here, a report summary band, which is going to go at the end, page header and footer, which would go at the top and bottom of each page, group header and footer. Here you can see a group header and a group footer that I'll explain a little bit more in detail here in a minute. Then there's also the data tab, the data band, which you can see right here is the data band. Now I have the data band out, and you can see that it is bound to the data source called payments right there. So whatever I put in this data band, I'm going to want it to be out of this table, this payments table. And you can see that I have this. If I just double click it, it's bound to the fee amount field, and this box is bound to the paid toward description field. And this one here is bound to the amount field. And if you look at this checkbox, what you're going to want to do is go over to Properties, and you'll see in Checked, the checked property is bound to payments.nonrefundable, which means if payments.nonrefundable is true, this will be checked. If payments.nonrefundable is false, this won't be checked. Okay, and then the group header and footer band are going to be bound to whatever they're around here, which happens to be this payments field. And you'll see the condition says payments.paymentID. That means it's going to create a new group every time it hits a new payment ID. And that would make sense, of course, if you're in the payments table, that a payment ID, each payment is going to have its own ID, which means that this is going to get repeated every time that you have a new payment. Now, of course, we're only viewing this report for one payment, so you're only going to see one. If you want to adjust these things, all you have to do is double click to go into them, and you can either click from here or you can go right into Expression and you can edit there. You can also add more by just dragging these in. You click it and then you actually drag like so to make it, and then you can edit it right in there. Clicking on it allows you to delete it or move it. You can also add, for instance, an image. You could just drag it right into here, and then you have the ability to figure out exactly, like you can click open and you can grab a file from your computer, and then that image will be saved right here in this report. Once you're all done editing your report, you're going to want to click the Save button to make sure that you save it, and then you should get a pop-up that says the report was successfully saved. And then from then on, you'll be able to pull up your report. Now on these receipts, you'll notice right now my finances are gone because that's paid off, so it doesn't show you anything with the zero balance. If I click Show All, it shows these zero balances, and this is the fee that we were working with. I'm going to open it back up. We see all of these, and I want to show you that if you check one or two and you hit Show Receipt, you're going to see two options. You're going to see Show Receipt for selected payments or Show Receipt for this fee. Now the difference is, if you say Show Receipt for this fee, you're going to see every piece of payment that was paid toward this $25 fee. So for instance, suppose this payment right here, instead of being a full amount of $10 and all $10 being applied to this $25 fee, what if this was, say, a $100 check and $10 was applied toward this fee and $90 was somewhere else? Well, if that's true, when you say Show Receipt for this fee, you're only going to get this $10, this $5, and this $10 amount showing up on the receipt. On the other hand, if you say for selected payments, then what you're going to get is you're going to get the receipt to show not only these, but also that one that was the $90 that got applied somewhere else. That would also show up here. Now, the receipt that shows up by default when you pay something and it just pops up automatically, that's this receipt for selected payments. If you say this one right here, say I want to see the receipt by fee instead of by payments, you'll notice that your receipt isn't there. It's because you've got two different reports going on. You have the receipt report and the receipt by fee report. You can see that right here. This is the receipt by fee report instead of the receipt report, which has these custom versions. So you're going to want to make sure that if you want to be able to use the same receipt in both instances, you're going to have to make two copies of that. And there's two ways you could do that. You could either manually make the copy, or if you make one in either one, like say you make it in this this particular report, you can then just send me an email and say, hey, I have this custom report I just made, and I'd like you to copy it over and put it also in the other report by or receipt by fee area. And I'll copy that report from your database and create a second version, and then it'll be in both places exactly the same. So you can do that. So there you go. There's a quick introduction to editing reports and how to use your receipts as well. Thank you very much.